again, strangers. Welcome back to Cadillac Coachworks. I know it's been a little while since we've had video, well, at least a whole car. So this episode, we have a 65 Coupe de Ville from a very old friend of mine. We've been friends probably 18 years, something like that. But yeah, so what's special about this car is it's got one of my favorite drivetrains in it. It's a 472, the big boy, and it's in a 65, so she's pretty quick, but she needs a lot of help. She's got stuff. So let me bring the camera around and show you. All right, so here's that big honking engine. But situation, you may see that there's, it's hard to tell, kind of, there's oil everywhere, even on the chrome. Like, it's sooty oil. The issue is obviously valve covers are leaking, but the PCV isn't hooked up, and someone just left a hole in the valve cover, so that's just spraying out that stuff all over the place. I mean, we got, it's not as bad as I've ever seen, but there's oil everywhere. That's all oil. It's coming out. So we're gonna hook a PCV up to this air cleaner. Probably get a new one because this one's kind of grody and it's missing the piece. We got valve covers with actual breathers and all that stuff. They're chrome, so all this is going to be chrome. We're gonna do a full tune-up on this. She runs okay. One of the bigger issues is it's so dirty underneath there. Someone put, hold on, put this in here. That's just from picking the valve cover up, or the air cleaner. So we got a Holley double pumper on here. You know, pretty good carburetor for a big engine, but these like good gas pressure, not very light gas pressure. So this has the stock fuel pump on it, and it takes forever to start. And I think that's because it's a double pumper. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to put an external fuel pump in the back just to make it easier for her. Because, you know, she wants to get in her car and drive it. She doesn't want to sit there for 20 minutes trying to get the damn thing running. So, but yeah, she's had this car a long time, and I mean, it just needs a tune-up. It needs some work. It needs some love. So we're gonna give it to her. And then, of course, this bothers me. This is for the transcooler. Yeah, that's just got a piece of steel bolted on there, so we're gonna get a new transcooler. Also, I think it's leaking. I have no idea why they disconnected it from the radiator. Let me see if this has, I can't tell. It's got some kind of weird fan shroud on it. It's kind of mechanical fan. Okay, but yeah, here, let me show you the outside of the car. It's been lowered. It's got some dubs. I don't know if you people ever remember that term, but got some dubs. Really pretty car. I really like the blue on it. She still wants to get obviously some paint work. Whoever prepped the car for paint, this side isn't as bad, but whoever prepped it, they didn't prep it too well. We got Bondo cracking and stuff, but you know what? Still looks okay. Inside, it's fairly clean, fairly nice. I have to fix this window as the back side comes up higher, so that's probably an adjustment back here, or something came off. The temperature gauge doesn't work. So, I don't know if it's been unhooked or what. It should be right there, but it's not. Might be something I have to look into. I might put an aftermarket in there. But the first things first is that what we're going to do is I'm going to tape off that hole. I'm going to seal up that carburetor. I'm going to get the good old purple power. And we're going to get all this oil out of here, so it's a nice clean canvas to start with. Might do a little bit of paint work down here that kind of bothers me. This might clean up on the top fenders, but I think when we're all said and done, this engine compartment's going to look really nice. But yeah, let me clean her and get back to you guys. Alright, so she cleaned up pretty good. A lot less oil. Man, was there some oil on the ground. Let me show you a little after. Alright, so don't worry about the little bit of puddling of water right there. That'll dry, and if it doesn't, I'll clean it up. So, after cleaning it up, I mean, I don't know, I might just spray the intake black and just clean it up. I mean, probably not get too crazy on the outside, but just clean up the engine itself, you know, because we are putting some chrome on it, because chrome does get you home. And yeah, I guess we'll go from there. So on this carburetor, let's see here. It looks like it's on an adapter plate. Electric choke isn't hooked up. Might want to hook that up. Might help it start. See how the choke is still kind of quarter way open, and the engine's cold now. Is that the EGR? Maybe take the AGR off. Get rid of some of this crap that doesn't need to be on here. That's still on here. But yeah, she does have a slight tick, and I'm pretty sure it's the lifter. I don't think it was the exhaust. But that's okay, you know. Maybe in another year or so we can address that. But I'm going to try some thicker oil on her, see if that helps at all. It just might be a little dry. She hasn't been driving it very much, and of course you got to drive these engines. But these 472s and 500s are just fantastic motors. So fantastic, I have one, oh, it's under that tarp over there. That one is a pre-smog. This one looks like it might be pre-smog. I haven't ran the numbers on it, but it does have the what is it? The air pump delete on it, and that's factory Cadillac right here. It's not a kit. So on the smog 472s and 500s, there's an air pump down here, and the bracket for the alternator, everything's intertwined, so you can't just remove the belt. It actually has a 3 groove pulley here as well, and it runs the water pump. So that was something that you know, the government did to say, hey, you can't just take the belt off and not run it, because then you wouldn't be running your water pump. So it's kind of a, you know, kind of BS if you ask me, but you know, because I mean these motors built right, they're 600 horsepower motors easy, and from the factory with the smog on it, they were pushing like 180, and I tell you what, for getting 7 miles per gallon, that's pretty bad. But they're still torquey. But man, these things have so much potential. If you put an Edelbrock intake on there, put some exhaust on these, do a mild cam, do a little bit of a advance on the timing, man, these things will just take off. They're amazing. But anyways, I will get back to you as soon as I get this carburetor off, and just kind of we'll go over it more when that's all dried up and all that fun stuff. But yeah, you know, listen to some Hank Williams, get a better picture of the outside of this thing. Yeah, 65 Caddy, and she's having some brake issues too, and someone had put disc brakes on it, so it might be the proportioning valve. I thought it was drum at first, and I was just going to adjust them, but she pulls to the right, and usually it's either a sticky caliper or a proportioning valve, and yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get into that or not. But anyways, get back to you guys soon. Alrighty. Well, got the carburetor off, got the valve covers off, got some wires and hoses out of the way. I redid the vacuum for the transmission. It was all spiraled up with the steel up over here, all janky, so nice and clean. Got rid of the engine pullers. Those will go back to Des, just in case she has to pull this motor. The motor is tired. You can see that the valve train is, it's a little dirty. The motor is a little tired, but it still runs good, so that's the main thing. But yeah, it'll eventually need a rebuild, probably in a couple years or something like that. But we are going to, let me zoom out. We're going to paint this, make everything look good. Well, everything's off. I got the new valve covers over here. Here's the new valve covers with a breather, grommets. I had to order a 90-degree PCV, so that's going to go in there. And then that'll go into the air cleaner. New gaskets. There's a box of other goodies down over here. There's the old valve covers. So, oh, and the Holly. The Holly Jolly. Not my first choice. And one of the main reasons is, if you look at this adapter plate, look how it, I don't know, just kind of, it's bored up to this, but I don't know, it's not perfectly smooth. Like, there's a big thing right there, but it works, you know, it works. Better than the Quadra-Junk. I don't like Quadra-Junks. I like Carters. But anyways, so I'll get back to you on the next step, which is probably, we're going to do the HEI. We're going to put a new cap, new rotor. The control it's still working, so I might just leave it. Especially if it's an older one made in USA, and I'll just Des did buy an extra one, but she can keep it in the trunk just in case this one ever does go out. But we got new wires. These are old looking. The spark plugs looked good. I haven't pulled any to see if they're fouled or oily or anything, but yeah, I'll get back to you then. All right. It's been a long day. Did a lot of little stuff, I would say. Let me show you some stuff I've done and all that. Hold on. Okie dokie. Well, as you can probably tell, the engine, top of it's been Craigslist rebuild, you know. But no, I painted pretty much everything that I could get to. Chrome valve covers are on, RTV, new gaskets, all that fun stuff. New rotor. New cap. I left the coil in there. The coil wasn't that old, so that's good. New wires, which is nice because the other ones were just gross. I haven't, you know, snipped them in or zip tied them in yet. I did touch this front core support up. It looks a little shiny now, but it will dull out because this is all satin. I still probably gonna do these fender walls. Other fender walls, I don't like them too much. But yeah, so I've done that. I don't think what else I did. Oh, maybe I think I just show you about that little vacuum over there. That's it didn't look too good. So one thing I did kind of switch around, this guy. It's not a lime. That's an orange. So these inlets were flipped around for the fuel. So it had this guy like this. And then it came back around. I'm like, what the hell is the point of that? So I just flipped this around, so now where the fuel comes in, it's going directly into here. I don't know why somebody wouldn't just take these off and do it. Maybe because they didn't have an infamous 18mm wrench, which is the only thing that really fits on here tight, because, you know, this is the aircraft aluminum and these will strip pretty easily. But yeah, so tomorrow I might be taking a break, but I have to put the fuel pump in back there somewhere in the fuel line. I'm pretty sure it's on this side, but somewhere in line, and then run a wire to there. I have some parts on order, and obviously we're gonna, oh, you can't even see, it's so black now you can't even see down in there, but you know, you remember the trans cooler that needs to be replaced. But yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. And then of course, you know, that we're going to do fine tuning on the carburetor after it gets rebuilt and all that. But I will talk to you guys very soon here, as soon as I get the other parts, and I will update you. Hey guys, all right, so welcome back. It's been a long week or two. It's been hot, but let me show you the progress on the 65. Quite a lot of stuff done. Okay, so as you can see, it's complete. She has been tuned and she is running really good. She still gets a lifter knock. I'm hoping some Lucas and oil will kind of get rid of that, but you know, she's just probably in time for a little bit of a rebuild. This has been flipped around. As you remember, this had a 90 going this way, and the reason they did that is because this was hitting this fuel line right here is hitting this, so they decided to 90 it instead of just getting a spacer, a proper spacer for it. Choke is hooked up. That's working great now. Everything's painted, obviously cleaned. Let's see what else. Oh, PCV. Okay, so I tried hooking it into the bottom of the air cleaner, and no, it wasn't getting any vacuum. So went in here, put a 90, and it's getting perfect vacuum now. Ignition's all done. I did replace the coil in it. The other one was iffy. What else? So temperature gauge is hooked up. She runs at a great 165, idling for 20 minutes. She does not get over that. That's perfect. What else here? Oh, you might notice the door panel sitting right there, but the window is sitting how it's supposed to be. You do see a gap right here, but it's missing the weather stripping. It's a pretty fat piece of weather stripping that's going here, and then you got this piece right here. We'll see how quick we can get it, but all right. So here's the issue. First off, this bolt right here was out. It was missing, and this controls, or let me hold the door open, it holds together the track for the back of the glass. So this glass was going all over the place. I'll zoom out here. So yeah, this glass is going all over the place. Now it's tighter than a drum, but let me roll down the window here. So because that bolt was busted, it broke the plastic in here, the little plastic roller that guides on this. So I just have it popped in here right now, but it needs obviously a new roller. So I'm gonna try the Dorman, and you just basically grind this rivet out, pop it out, and it has one with a nut on it. So we're gonna try that. I might try this one, even though the roller is in good shape, but these break all the time. And it's because of a loose track or guide. There's just so many bolts. Like, you look at these bolts all over the place. Well, not this one, but these right here. This is part of the regulator back here, and it depends on the year. This one down here is part of the regulator as well. This one right here, not sure. Let me reach down in here. Yep, that's where this counter arm connects to that. And there's a rail right here behind my finger. So this is a rail that goes all the way across that connects this arm right here to go back and forth down here. It's three arms that go in here. And if these are loose or out of adjustment, you will snap these rollers really quickly. But yeah, so that's the update. And I think let's see, fuel pump, I still got to put an electric fuel pump on for her. She does lose fuel pressure if she sits, so sometimes it can take a little while for the car to start. I might put a shim in here. I don't know. This is not supposed to be like that. Luckily, it's not part of the fender. Let's see, there's a shim right here. There should be a shim here with a bolt going this way. Someone, you know, when they blew it apart to do the paint job, they just, I don't know. They didn't do a very good job. One thing I kind of noticed too is that for the window regulate or the window power, some of this, zoom in here, some of this is like speaker wire. I mean, it's not broken and it works, but you know, that's not necessarily what you want to use, but it works. So, okay. But yeah, so let me get back up here. But yeah, so she's dusty now. But yeah, carburetor's tuned. I didn't know too much about Holley's, but figured out this is the air mixture right here on both sides. This is your throttle accelerator pump right here. I didn't really have to adjust that, but see, if you look right here, well, it stayed a little full. But so these are new glass filters. They're not like the old ones that unscrew and have a tendency to leak. So let's try those out. They should be good. So far, so good. But yeah, everything's painted and all that fun stuff. So I think the next video will be when it's finished and we take her for a test drive. So you guys stay tuned. Well, we're finally done on the 65. Man, she's fast. I love them 472s and 500s. Makes me want to yank the 390 out of the 52 and just throw the 500 in that I have. It's just, they're so smooth and they're just so fast. They got so much torque, and the torque just keeps going and going and going. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love 390s, 365s, all of them. They look pretty, but the Jetaways Hydramatics, they're not that good. But the 472s have, and 500s have turbo 400s. They're a little different than the Chevy because of the bell housing, but pretty much the same. So anyways, let me show you the 65 here. All right. All shined up. Gave her a nice bath. You know, some people are real big fans of the 65, 66, so forth, more than other years. I do like the 65s. I think I'd rather have a 64 though. I do love those 64s. Now you can actually really see the ghost flames that are in the paint. Now I know this is not everybody's cup of tea, but you know, it's she's a gorgeous car, you know. And unfortunately, it got shot at. Oh wait, these are stickers. Never mind. Yeah, it's to cover up these cracks. So this is from what I had mentioned earlier, bad body prep. Someone paid a lot of money for this paint job, but someone skipped the body prep. Whether it might be a little bit of rust in the back, bad skim job with the mixture of the Bondo, I don't know, but it sucks because the paint, it's shiny. It's been wet sanded. It was done real nice. It's whoever sprayed the car did a really good job, but whoever prepped the car. So some people also argue that this could be a fin. It's not. It doesn't separate from the body. Got some dually exhaust with glass packs, which you'll hear in a second. Let me pop the hood for you. This is where I did all the work. Hopefully I can do this one-handed because this is one heavy hood. Okay. All right. Workout. Don't worry about that wrench. Driving and tuning. Someone took the timing marks off this motor, so I had nothing to go off except for my ears. So anyways, here's, you know, touch-up painted Craigslist rebuild right there. The chrome all nice and shiny. Air cleaner to match everything. All new wires, cap, rotor, coil. What else here? Of course, the wires. Spark plugs are still good. Added a tender for her. Now, one thing I did do, I put a non-AC radiator hose on here. I didn't tell Des that. I wanted to kind of surprise her. I had a couple of them laying around, and instead of the giant hump right here that goes over the compressor, it's flat. So it just kind of tucks in there a lot better. I can give you a part number if you just want to comment on the video. I'm sure they still make them. It's not that old, but it's really cool if you're doing a swap, or if you don't have an AC 472-500 engine. A lot of those were used on commercial cars because, you know, a lot of them didn't have air conditioning. What else did I do here? Oh, a new alternator belt. That was impossible to find because this engine was a smog pump engine and someone took the pump off. And so just the alternator belt just goes around the water pump, not down to the crank. So that was exciting to find that. I think that's actually, it's a green belt, which kind of sucks. It's dark green, but yeah, I think that's from that's for an industrial belt, but not sure. Electric fuel pumps all hooked up. Fuel stays in the bowl now, which is awesome. She starts right up. Oh, let me fix this right here. Need to get that dick down in there. Come on, you. There we go. Okay, so back to it. So yeah, that's been done, and also the air conditioning hose was flapping around really bad, even with a zip tie. I didn't really need to put a zip tie back on it, but I did just to be safe because it's pretty close to that fan. All right, let's start her up. Now, the customer had a problem with it, you know, or Des had a problem starting it every morning or when it sat. But now, I mean, I had it sit for 4 days and it just fired right up. There we go. Now, the timing is a little high, and I'll tell you why. That's why she hesitated just a little bit on start, but she starts no problem. So, I'm sure you can hear it. It has a lifter tick on this side and a slight one on that side. So lead additive was not being used on the fuel, and no zinc on the oil, and that's been years and years. So that's why it's important, or you get these lifter ticks. And what it is one of the valves is not opening all the way. So she did do a little bit of a backfire every so often, but she's not doing it with the timing as advanced as she is. If I lower or retard the timing about another 4 degrees where it should be, she starts backfiring, and it's all because of the valve not opening at the correct time or not opening all the way. And I think it's a intake valve, because it is firing back through the intake. So, but yeah, I mean, it looks good. It runs really good. Let me show you, I'll cut to the video of me driving her and show you how quick she is. All right, we're at a turn here. Let's see how quick she is. It's about half throttle right there. Yep, I'd say that's pretty damn quick for a Cadillac. You gotta love these 472s and 500s. They're just fantastic. All right, so yeah, she's pretty damn quick. One thing is that she was braking to the right, and we had both thought that it might be a braking issue, but it's not. It looks like the A-arms are going to need bushings. I didn't see anything with a ball joint, but when you slightly are turning left and you hit the brakes, it doesn't move. So if it was the brakes, it would still want to jerk to the right, even if you're turning left. So it's definitely something that will be done in the future. And then hopefully the additives and the thick oil and all the stuff that I put in the engine will help with that lifter tick. But it might be too late. But just keep driving it. That's what I told her. It's not like it's gonna blow up, so you know, she's driving way better than she was before. I mean, she'll peel out if you want to. It's amazing what these 472s and 500s do. But anyways, that's it for this video. I have no idea when the next video will be. It might be on a 57 Eldorado, we'll see. You guys stay safe. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share this channel with your Cadillac friends, or even just GM fans in general. I would like to do other vehicles besides Cadillac, but that's what I'm known for. So that's why I don't get a ton of subscribers, but any help that I can get would be awesome. I do like spreading the knowledge that I have, and actually getting more knowledge too. Sometimes I get comments and whatnot, and I'm like, wow, you're right. And you know, you keep learning until you die. So anyways, you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I'll catch you on the next one. Stay safe out there.